And we are live. Good evening, Crypto Warriors, and welcome back to the Gentlemen of Crypto, episode 423. Today is Monday, July 1st, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we're here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 3-ish.
At 3-ish.
It is time.
For sure. And today I have a lot of great stories for you coming straight from the fire, I guess. I don't have no clue where the statement came from. I don't
Straight
know.
out the fire.
Straight out of the
like
trash.
Sebastian Telfair documentary.
There we go. Pick it up for me. That's all your partners in crime right now. From Ponzi to we're working on it. BIS Chief reverses stance on crypto. TD Ameritrade backed Eric's X gets green light to settle futures in Bitcoin. Federal judge sentences cryptocurrency scammer to 86 months in prison. Bittrex user alleges funds were withheld in a recent lawsuit, and all-time lows by Lil Bubble capture the spirit as altcoins fail to pace Bitcoin. But first, what is going on with that Bitcoin price, and do we have any cryptic coin winners from last week?
So no cryptic coin winners from last week, no answers to the question, but we will have one today, so stay tuned. However, getting to the price, over the weekend we had a very pretty predictable fall in price after a huge rise over the last 2 weeks. We have a 4% drop today, down to $10,542 for Bitcoin. Ripple is at 40 cents, up 1% today. Ethereum's down to $291, down 1% today. Bcash showing some life at $409, up 0.36%. EOS further sliding down to $592, up 2.6% today. And Litecoin at $120, down 1% today. So that's our prices for today. Pretty noticeable across the board. Some green, some red, different projects doing their own thing. So going sideways right now.
There we go. So you say Bitcoin is what, 10,500 some change?
10,500.
Oh my God, is it dead again?
Yeah.
People, it was a 13% drop. The world is burning. I mean, literally, I'm happy we don't see this on CNBC anymore. I mean, they finally learned a little bit about cryptocurrency.
Well, I will say CNBC said it's a good time to buy, and then boom, price dropped. So
here we go.
They are still the contraindicator.
For sure.
Just because they were right twice, I think. In the last 6 months, people were like, "Oh, they may be changing." No, they're still trash.
Still who we are.
Still trash.
What's going on, Richard KH Tessa Bitcoin Zay is next to me. He got me in the comment section. D Chiron, Tony Nolly, everybody. Hello. And for the top story, of course, from Ponzi to we're working on it. BIS Chief reverses stance on crypto. You heard that right. I couldn't believe it myself. Hold on, we got the wrong article tab up for you. Let me get the good one.
How the times have changed.
Right. What's going on with this story? Go ahead and break it up.
Oh, yeah. Well, as you know, back in the day, there was a guy by the name of Augustine Carstens, a.k.a. Jigglypuff, who is the chief of Bank of International Settlements. And he's acknowledged now that central banks are likely soon to issue their own digital currencies, which is hilarious because he called digital currencies or Bitcoin a fraud. He said that it wouldn't work. He's actually come out and stated his dislike for it. But we've always said central banks are only trying. This is a defense mechanism. They're going to have to concede at some point. Looks like they are now. Speaking to the Financial Times, he actually stated that it might be that it is sooner than we think that there's a market, and we need to be able to provide central bank digital currencies, aka CBDCs, which we've been talking about for months.
Big U-turn.
He used the exact term, and huge U-turn here. Definitely after Libra started talking about cryptocurrency, Maxine Waters started saying that they need to have hearings. Of course, here comes the BIS Chief, Jigglypuff, trying to rein it in because they can't control it. So unfortunate to see, but it is good to see that they realize you're going to need a digital currency. It's inevitable. I mean,
you can see here in March in his speech, he literally said, he listed the various risks for banks considering doing so. I mean, creating a central bank digital currency, arguing innovation should not come too fast. And I mean, that's just right now. You know, last year he describes Bitcoin as lacking the ability to ever function as money and directed young people to stop trying to create money.
What?
Because young people, those who use cryptocurrency on, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, they would listen to a person like this. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say. They would definitely listen to you when it comes to what they should be doing with their life. I mean, this is ridiculous. I'm gonna use some of those because everybody loves mainstream news. This is mainstream buzzword. This is utterly ridiculous, and I am shocked.
This is preposterous.
Preposterous. Like, I still don't get how people like this are allowed to have jobs and leadership positions when they are. I mean, it's not even the point now. They're wrong behind closed doors. No, they are publicly wrong. It's publicly recorded. You got guys like us who are literally just knocking this thing out the park every time, like every day calling this out. But he's the guy with the bag of money, and the position is like he literally has no direction in which he wants to sell his ship. And even worse, you talk about BIS, Bank of International Settlements, the Bank of Banks, all that good stuff. You start talking about these people, whether you know it or not, your tax money is intertwined. It's tied up in this too. Yeah. Somewhere along it, they have their hands on our money, which is why this is such a frustrating experience for us when we see people like this who literally, try to make you seem like you're crazy. Those who believed in crypto or Bitcoin early on, they want to make you feel like you're crazy or what you're doing is criminal or wrong, because that's the one thing we always talk about. You trade Bitcoin, you do this, or you try to start a fund. Well, guess what? We're going to send you to prison with the rapists, the pedophiles, and the killers. Yeah, these are the people we're trying to see in prison.
But now we're going to bring up our own.
Right, yeah. But now we're going to do it ourselves. Now that we clear this competition out, the price is getting high enough to the point where you normal folks can't buy it, and now we're going to get this party back started. Yeah. So,
and I don't know why we put him in the position to lead when he's one deep breath away from choking on his tie, and he could be out of here anyway. So, honestly, I'm not really listening to what he has to say as far as crypto goes, but if they are building a digital currency, you do want to stay in the know what they're trying to go for. We've been telling you for months. It's here now, people, and when they say we're thinking about it, they've been building it.
They got it.
They've already been building it.
It's here. I mean, we've mentioned that many times, but last but not least, a couple more quotes he's made. If you look at them closely, cryptocurrencies are, in a nutshell, a bubble, a Ponzi scheme, and an environmental disaster. The environmental part has again been proven false already. So this is another person who's lying to your face. The latter because of the high energy consumption needed to run the infrastructure for these cryptocurrencies. I hate when people talk about you cannot talk about environmental disaster or environmental anything if you do not acknowledge some of the things our military does when it comes to weapons. When you talk about bombs or even nuclear blast back when we dropped the 2 A-bombs, right? Yeah. You can't talk about environmental stuff when we have this on our track record.
Or waste.
Waste in general, especially being from a first world country. Don't be from a first world country saying that crypto isn't good because of environmental. Really? I mean, we can go down a long list of things that are
a lot of ducks,
100 times worse.
A lot of ducks in the ocean right now getting choked out by.
I was actually going to bring that up too. Can we get the 6-pack plastic out the ocean? 6-pack of
plastic choking a duck right now as we speak. So, but we're talking about Bitcoin and the environment.
I mean, BP, the oil spill.
Yeah.
I mean,
they clean that up real good.
Bitcoin will never catch up to the BP's oil spill environmental impact. So again, we have a long way to go before that. And then last but not least, and of course, this was the biggest blow to the BIS. Also, what was the other one we were talking about today?
IMF.
The IMF also made a statement, very similar statement. They're saying, yeah, we're going to go forward with CBDCs. But the biggest blow, of course, has been Facebook. All it took was a billionaire, a super billionaire, who actually has the resources to say, oh, wait, I can do what the Federal Reserve did and just create my own private currency and have a government buy into it. Why wouldn't I, right? Oh, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. And it literally took that Facebook blow for now Maxine Walters. Oh, I know about technology and cryptocurrency too now. You got the BIS chief. You got the IMF chief coming out today. Everybody's coming out and they're like, oh, hold on, Facebook. Wait. When in reality, everything was already there for the people to begin with. So, hey, it's interesting to see this, but we saw it coming. And as we've always said, the war is over. These are the battles.
Oh yeah.
These are the battles. I guess now, guys, on Monday, we're going to start using CBDCs.
Sooner than you think.
Hilarious. All right, TD Ameritrade is in the news. It looks like TD Ameritrade backed ErisX gets the green light to settle futures in Bitcoin. Big news.
Oh yeah. Big news right there. This is huge to see because the CFTC is finally doing some work. It took until halfway through the year to finally clear some crypto derivatives. We saw it from another exchange earlier. Now ErisX, they have announced that they are cleared for actually organization of the futures contracts. And it's something called a designated contract market license, which they already held. So now they're good. They got everything they need to launch crypto futures products under the guise of the U.S. regulator, of course, because can't have these futures contracts without being some sort of regulation. But it will bring in a lot of institutional money who was waiting for that regulator to say, hey, it's okay to go now. And it is interesting that this came right when the dip was happening during the start of a bull run. Oh, now we got futures products. So should be interesting to see what happens over the next few weeks now that this has been approved. And we'll see when it gets cleared for them to start. But ErisX has been trying for a long time. Shout out to them. Gotta give them
good job, ErisX.
They've been trying a long time.
Looks like in the statement, Eric's ex-CEO Thomas Chippas said that the company is, quote, unique because it divided the trading and settlement functions using traditional DCM exchange and DCO clearing models. He added, this reflects the structure that institutional investors expect from other asset classes and will help drive these markets toward greater relevance and accessibility. Now, again, definitely want to shout Eric says to getting this ball moving, but something, again, that I just have to keep pointing out, you don't need any of this, people.
Not at all. Like, they're just making it up.
You don't need any of these derivatives that are being made up right now. You literally just need to find some. I mean, come to our chat box and just say, hey, who's in Germany? We got people in Germany. Hey, who's in Sweden? We got people in Saudi Arabia. Hey, who's in New York right now who I can, trade $3,000 for some Bitcoin or vice versa? Like, that is literally what Bitcoin is about. So I'm glad to see we have all these things, but do not forget where the true value is derived from. That's the underlying asset, Bitcoin itself. It doesn't matter if you have a futures, an ETF, or whatever.
If you don't own Bitcoin,
if you don't own the Bitcoin, you don't own it. So
if you're gonna let these people give you a piece of paper, and tell you own Bitcoin, that's on you.
A piece of regulated paper.
A piece of regulated paper, that's on you. But you can just purchase the underlying asset if you want to.
So again, shout out to Eric Sachs. Hey, don't mean to hate on you guys. It's great business opportunities for all those around. However, again, people, you do not need derivatives, and we want to continue to push people away from this newfound derivatives market that's going to come up around cryptocurrency, because this is the same type of derivative landscape that sent us in the 2008 financial crash. Remember, we're doing Bitcoin and cryptocurrency not just to make money or to make money, but because it's a technology that works for a financial system. So make sure you keep that in mind. What is going on? We got some more people. Andre Durden said, good to be back. Gervais Wright, White Cake, New Legacy, Wired Sparks. Tony Nolly said flip-flop for sure. White Cake said Trumpism, everything real is fake. Tony Nolly says time to pick sides. What's going on, Trek? PFC Wells in the house.
Oh, yeah, what's up, man?
Gervais Wright said, trust, I bet the Fed is mining Bitcoin and building American dollar stable. Oh, come on. Listen, they are not, look, we know they're not going out with a fight, so we know that for a fact. Tony Nolly said the U.S. military is the largest single polluter. I wouldn't doubt it, honestly. I would not doubt it. I'm sure with
some research on that. He said he has the link, so
right.
I believe it.
Oh, great thing. Wire Sparks said environment. I bet he doesn't believe in global warming, though. No, that's just like people who say all lives matter, but don't let these immigrants across our border. Like, wait, what is going on right now? These are conflicting statements you're telling me. I don't know what happens next, but whatever. We know how the road works. People, we just like to talk about it.
Some people are dumb.
Right? Hilarious. What's going on, crypto and culture? All right, federal judge sentences cryptocurrency scammer to 86 months in prison. Woo. Wow. All right. First of all, the Cointelegraph, shout out these photos, but come on, why you got to have this? There's always this omnious scammer. That's what's messing people up right now. Is that everybody's
not dudes in hoodies?
Exactly. Everyone thinks it's the omnious. This is how they look. You can't see the eyes. No, they're usually walking in a Starbucks with a rolled up shirt and a tie on like this, and they just going to work on that laptop with everybody who's
going to work on
50-foot radius. So, but whatever, I get the point of it. A scammer has been sentenced to 86 months, in prison for running a cryptocurrency-related scheme. The United States Department of Justice reports on July 1st. Looks like in addition to the 86-month prison sentence, United States District Judge Sandra J. Feuerstein ordered 44-year-old New Jersey resident Blake Cantor to pay a total restitution of $806,405. Oh yeah, that's right. You gonna give me that $5? You ain't gonna nickel and dime me. I want that extra $5. Distributed to the victims who invested in his scam, as well as forfeiture of $1.5 million and forfeiture of $153,000 of stolen proceeds. Woo. Okay, give us the details. What is a scam? Man. How did it happen? How much money did he make if he's giving up that much? And if he's giving up that much, how did he still get jail time? What's going on? He must have really pissed somebody off. So what's the story?
It looks as though, he didn't get the right lawyer because he still got jail time after owing all of this money. But the scam was called Blue Bit Bank, triple B's, unfortunately, because they had a scam go. They've had triple B. If your name is BBB, they're having a tough year. Even the Better Business Bureau isn't having a good year.
They about to get shut down too.
Everybody's struggling.
Fake government agency we've been paying, huh?
Yeah, all these BBBs need to get rid of.
For those who don't know about the Better Business Bureau, look into that. Scam.
It's definitely a scam too. Cantor, he uses a computer program to fake the price data of something called ATM Coin. He created something called ATM Coin. He said it was worth $600,000 when in fact it had no value. And he actually put on CoinMarketCap, which is why I'm glad they're cleaning up, that it was worth $2.26. So people were actually paying that price for a coin that didn't actually exist. And they were sending him the Bitcoin or the cash in exchange for the coins, which didn't have any value. They were going to exchanges, couldn't do anything with it. But if they looked at CoinMarketCap, they're like, oh yeah, it's up today. Oh, it's down. It wasn't listed, so he got caught. If you look at the URL, it's actually, it says your connection is not private. Attackers may be trying to steal your information, blase, blase. So most people won't continue on. And at that point, they pretty much figured it was an exit scam, which it was. This guy, Cantor, as another scammer in the market. He would have been a scammer whether Bitcoin was created or not. So, like I said, all the people, shout out to you if you're being vigilant because these people exist. That's why we bring them up.
We have to keep talking about it, and shout out to Cointelegraph for reporting on things like this because I mean, even though we know some slow news days, it's also very easy for these news sites to be all right. We've heard one too many scammer stories too many, but no, I think the whole, as you said, the whole community is actively involved in saying, hey, let's go ahead and put names and faces with these people so you know who they are. You can keep up with them because it's becoming a lot of them. And as we keep telling you, these scams are becoming more and more sophisticated. As you saw, we got people going to CoinMarketCap like registering real coins, right? It's a sophisticated scam. Another thing you want to look out for. If your website has those warning messages in Chrome, unless you know the website, because speaking of the U.S. military, believe it or not, there are military sites where if I type them in Chrome, Chrome's going to be like, they won't even let me enter it. I have to go to Internet Explorer to get on the actual military site. That just kind of shows you how dated some of our technology is. But by and large, unless there's a site like that you know, hey, this is the one I need to go to, then yes, you should not be trusting a website that still has warning messages about your connection. That is a telltale sign. I mean, it's literally super easy to make your site secure. All hosting platforms have support staff that are doing it for people because they want everyone's site to be secure so you can use their platform. So if a site doesn't have that, you definitely want to be on the lookout. But it looks like this hacker group previously reported by Cointelegraph was called the Community with a variety of charges including conspiracy to commit wire fraud, and aggravated identity theft. So they are literally coming after you. And again, they talk about the SIM swapping, which we talked about, where literally people can port your phone number, your cell phone number, and get control of your phone so that they can use your phone for this two-factor authentication, or use your phone to call up whoever else in your phone book or receive calls and pretend to be you and steal your identity. So you want to make sure you are being vigilant, as Bitcoin Zay just pointed out.
Absolutely.
There we go. And yeah, Cointelegraph, come on. The next scammer we get, you got to make them look normal so people understand that you can't just be looking for the shady guy in the corner who might be minding his business playing World of Warcraft. Exactly. When it's really the guy who's talking to everybody and shaking people's hands. It's like, yo, what you promised me at 30 million. You telling him 60 million. What's going on?
iRobot. That was a movie.
All right. Our favorite new hated exchange for the last few years. Bittrex user alleges funds were withheld in a recent lawsuit. So we always talk about Bittrex and how they fell off and some of the personal things we've been through. Well, this story pretty much hits on what happened, similarly what happened to us on Bittrex. And I am very glad to see this going to court. And I can't actually wait to see what the decision is going to be, because based on that precedence, I might be hopping back on the horse myself. But it looks like a New York resident has filed a lawsuit against crypto exchange Bittrex for allegedly withholding funds. Industry news outlet The Block reports on June 30th. Per the report, the plaintiff claims to have deposited $120,000 into her Bittrex account in August of 2018, and that was a great time to put that in there, and that the company suspended it and refused to release the funds until November of this year. She also alleges that the exchange attempted to, that has to be, if that's right, then that means that they're not going to release it till later on this year. That's crazy. She also alleges that the exchange attempted to extort her by withholding the funds she had in her account unless she signed an agreement giving up her rights to sue the company. We've been through all that, people.
Now you know why Bittrex doesn't show up at conferences.
Bro, what? Listen,
never.
Don't get me started live right now. Bittrex claims that the plaintiff's allegations are not true and that she failed to provide evidence of the source of funds as required by New York State and U.S. federal law. According to Bittrex, when the plaintiff registered on the crypto exchange, she agreed to the platform terms of service, which include an arbitration clause. That arbitration clause is what we have spoke about here in depth. That is also how we met some of the lawyers who work for Bittrex, who work for the same lawyer for Bittrex is with Facebook, is with the Democratic National Party. They're with all these big people. I think they're with Google as well. They actually gave us some great insight from the SEC and stuff. They are a great team. However, unless you have money to fight with them, you're not going to really win. Nah. And Bittrex, for our own experience, something very similar happened. If you have money on your account on the exchange, and let's say the same thing happened as a recent with Coinbase, we get a big pump, or even worse, a big dump, Bittrex can change their terms of services literally overnight. And then they'll tell you, well, you already have this arbitration clause, and good luck, here's our lawyers. So I'm not saying she's telling the truth or lie, because if this is in New York and you put 120K into an account, then yeah, it's going to raise some red flags. But regardless, I'm from just hearing the story, I'm not signing with Bittrex, because we have seen this. They have literally went from, you all can withdraw 2 Bitcoins, even though, you know, the price, if we're talking December 2017, you can withdraw up to $40,000 a day, to literally on a Tuesday or Wednesday morning going from you can withdraw $40,000 a day to now you can withdraw up to like 12,
like 0.4.
Yeah, $1,200, like $1,400 a day. And if you have money on an account, which is, you know, plus 100,000, plus 200, whatever K, then that is a big problem, especially if, you know, for our example, it happened as the bear cycle started. So if you have a ton of money, they're saying, well, you can withdraw 40,000 a day too, or you can draw 3,000 a day. You can't get that money off in the bear cycle, you just watching your money go down. Yeah. Or in their case, something similar from August to now this year, who knows where the pricing goes. So regardless of what's happening, cannot wait to see what happens when this case is brought to court and what the judge decides.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of bad for her that she's in New York.
Yeah, that's the tough thing.
That's the only tough part is they may basically look at this case and say, oh, well, this is New York. You shouldn't even been using Bittrex. Get out of here.
Right.
So that's the unfortunate part, but hopefully she gets justice and Bittrex can be basically held to term, because at no point have they ever really had to do anything with the customers they messed over the last few years. This should kick it off if she is successful.
Yeah, and looks like the plaintiff, I guess they try to reach out to the plaintiff that didn't respond to her requests. Well, let me just go back to the first page of the terms. Reportedly specifies the aforementioned clause, quote, governs resolution of certain disputes and waives any right to trial by jury or to participate in a class action. I mean, honestly, when I see these in those terms of services anyway, that is insane to me. So you're saying we're allowed to do something wrong and you can't sue us or do anything for us, whatever. You know, so this was.
But give us all your information and tell us everything.
Right, tell us your social security number.
Give us a blood sample. When was your first step?
And of course, you know, you talk about this uphill battle when it comes to arbitrations. For those who don't know, as this person said in the comments or in the article, one imagines an uphill battle convincing an arbitrator that if we assume Bittrex's argument is correct, that requiring documentation of source of funds is somehow unlawful if required by state and federal law. Basically, what happens with this arbitration is you go into Bittrex arbitration with one of the top lawyers on the planet, literally, with his team, and they all have the crypto people on their side, as well as Bittrex, who's paying them on their side, and it's up to that person to make a non-biased decision. Even though you have this now Fortune 100 company paying you a ton of money, they're supposed to be non-biased and come to the decision for Bittrex and the plaintiff. That's not going to happen, people. I mean, just common sense will tell you that. But with things, with people like, so one of the CEOs of Bittrex, Bill Shahara, or William Shahara, Shahara, whatever his name is, what people like him don't understand when it comes to this stuff, where it comes to terms of service, no matter what we do wrong, you can't sue us or none of that. All right, that's fair. Those are your rules. I play by a totally different set of rules. So I just can't wait to see you at conference so we can talk about both our rules and how we're going to execute those rules. Right, and how we're going to enforce both sides of those rules. So it's crazy to see that you know, this is still going on, but it is still going on. So this is our problem when we talk about regulations and all that. It's not for the mom and pop. It is for the institution. It's for the big guys, which majority of people aren't. So again, it's nothing that you can get upset about. It's the name of the game. However, you need to be aware of it to know that this could actually happen to you as well. So whenever you finally see your account on your exchange go up to that number you've been hoping to get to, and you think you're going to withdraw some of it, ensure that you can. Right, because it might not happen. What's going on, Coke by Paris? It didn't get the notification, but I'm rewinding. Thanks.
Man.
Tonio, great point. Tonio said add a PIN to your phone number so your telephone and call your telephone provider up. That way you can't be spoofed, basically. Another thing you can do for my telephone, all my internet services, I make it so that if I'm not at the store in person, nothing can be changed.
You got to be there in person.
You got to be there in person with an ID, with the PIN too, in person. So you want to make it, you know, layer it up as well. What's going on, blockchain? Shuja. Let's see, Sergeant Crypto, what's going on?
What's up? What's up?
All right. And last but certainly not least, we are leaving you on a great note. It looks like there's a new song that's out for crypto. Mainstream again. It's called All Time Lows by Lil Bubble. And it captures the spirit as altcoins fail to pay Bitcoin. What is going on with this story?
Man, keep crypto weird. This is why we do stuff like this. Because one little facet of crypto that we like as opposed to banks is there are a lot of very smart, intelligent people, but there are a lot of characters who do things like make music videos. And we premiered the Pokemon Bitcoin song last week. And now we have Old Town Road version called All Time Lows, basically about the long altcoin game. So we can play that song now, and enjoy it.
You got it on yours?
Yeah.
I got my volume low. Here we go. It doesn't even want to load on mine. Try to go to YouTube.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride my oats down to old time lows. I'm gonna buy till I can't no more. I'm gonna buy these oats 'cause they're oversold. I'm gonna buy till
This
I can't
is
no more.
crypto! That's just hilarious.
Got my ledger on my neck. Buying all
Wow.
the shit coins. You can keep your Bitcoin. I am broke as hell.
And he got the ledger.
I will never
Right.
sell. I am never selling nothing.
Wow.
I'm not
That's it, folks. Bitcoin is here to stay.
I'm never selling.
Hilarious. You got the moon suit on.
Oh, yeah. It's not going anywhere.
I love it. It's looking good. Oh, you got the altcoins and trash bags. Oh. Oh my goodness. This is amazing. This is amazing work.
Oh, man.
And again, that is Lil Bubble's all-time lows. Wow.
Yeah.
It looks like that song has already been retweeted 2,291 times and about 6,686 likes on Twitter since it was published yesterday evening. So it's starting to make its way around crypto Twitter for sure.
Oh, yeah. And I like the fact, like I said, it's a music song that actually kind of goes together, because we've seen some terrible music videos. We've heard some horrible songs, and people talking about Bitcoin. But this was actually a pretty good one. It was a cover. Old Town Road is popular, so it got out there pretty good. Some people who are hearing this for the first time are trying to figure out, okay, exactly what is going on. A good way to learn is actually with songs, because whatever they mention in the song is usually like important for them to know. So most people hear these songs and they're like, hey, all right, this isn't too bad. And it might be all right for kids. If you want to bring kids into the Bitcoin space, maybe playing a song like this will interest them, rather than you talking about mining and hash algorithms. Maybe you can play this song and they're like, oh, what is the altcoin? And then you can go from there. So love to see it. Like I said, keep crypto weird. That's one of the biggest things that makes us different, in my opinion.
And as he said, I am broke as hell, but I would never sell. Listen, something many of us in the cryptoverse can understand, because we are holding strong. But that was a pretty, great song, great way to put it out, and it keeps getting more creative and creative. So we got to enjoy the space, as you said. And then, Sean Ortiz, we got you, man. We'll check the email out. Other than that, what are we doing for the free cryptic coin today?
Oh, yeah. So for the free cryptic coin, we discussed Bittrex, and I want to hear what you all have to say about getting funds back. Do you think they should actually send the funds back if she is in New York, or if she deserves it back because she didn't go through their terms of service? Let us know what you think. Let us know any of your horror stories with exchanges. Put that cryptic coin address, and we will send you those free coins.
I tell you, this is the different cultural thing behind it. You're telling somebody we're not going to give you your 120,000. We're going to give it back to when we want it. Again, this is like sanctioning people financially. Like, what do you expect them to do next?
Yeah.
Like literally to sit there and take it. Like,
People
okay,
gonna get tired of
I
going
just
to court.
lost my money.
And some people are not going to court regardless.
Listen, come on. Hey, Bill, we'll see you at a conference one day.
I don't like court. I don't like court.
I don't like court. Try and stay away. All right, that's our show for today. Have a happy Monday, folks, and we will see you all tomorrow. Cheers.
Cheers.